Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another Access 72 video. Pleasure to be joined by Ben Norman. Ben, down at the gym today, which we both train out of, and I appreciate you letting and agreeing to do this today. And first of all, how are we doing? How's things been since we've last spoke, I suppose, on camera?
Yeah, it's been very good. Obviously, I think I've had one fight. No, would have had two fights since I last seen you at Leicester. Casey Cleamy and Brandon Dodd. Obviously, two hard fights. But now, obviously, coming to beginning of 2024, and I get married in June, so I'm not expecting to be boxing loads the first half of the year. So yeah, just staying busy, ticking over, and obviously just planning stuff for the wedding. Then obviously see what happens after.
Of course, congratulations on getting engaged, and I suppose it's a big life achievement, and it does to an extent put the boxing on hold a little bit. But I'm sure you're after that, going to have big plans, and I suppose how's it been? I suppose taking a little bit of a step back from boxing.
Like I said, I've only been boxing about 3 times a year anyway. So obviously I always have a bit of a rest, which I learned last year. The worst thing I'd done was not staying in the gym, as I kind of done that. I'd say 2022 I probably didn't stay in the gym enough, as this time I did. Obviously getting frustrated because I didn't get out till June, I think it was, at the Leicester show. And then literally got offered a IBO Intercontinental title fight within 2.5 weeks, which I accepted straight away. And then just stayed ticking over after that. I think I had about a month off after that, just to get all the bruises going down and get back in there. But no, I try and stay ticking over, otherwise I get bored. I just get fat otherwise. And I was like, believe it or not, I'm about a stone over fighting weight now. But obviously, because I know I ain't got nothing coming up and it don't look anything until about end of August time, obviously just enjoying planning the wedding and having a few beers along the way.
No, and I mean, the last time that I saw you fight, obviously, was your last win. It was a very impressive win, and from that, I looked at you, and I suppose from the outside, you can look at the records and be like, oh, maybe he's not the best of fighters, but that performance was a very impressive performance. And seeing you in the gym as well, you can tell that you're not got that type of journeyman type style, and you don't really want to be seen as that. And I suppose how important is it of you to still be getting these top level fights?
Well, I'm obviously still doing something right. Like I say, I've lost my last 2 fights to Casey Cleamy and Brandon Dodd. But you still ain't got the fights flooding through. Same obviously when I lost to Conor Butler. Got offered Liam Drink fight. I think we got offered that before I took the Conor Butler fight, but we said see how that goes. Then literally within 8 weeks went and boxed, win that, and then stayed in the gym, got offered the English title. Like I said, I think it's 5 out of my last 6 fights all been title fights now. Because like I said on Facebook, for a few people might have seen it, is there's not a lot like me. They're too worried about protecting the record. I'm not bothered. Obviously, yeah, it'd be nice to have a decent record, but I've still got an alright record when you look at it. I've had 4 losses, but when you see who it's against, there's no shame in my eyes.
And I suppose, does that mean that when you are looking at opponents and possible opponents, you're not really, thinking of, oh, I want to go and box another journeyman fight? You're only really thinking, like, I might as well be in this for the title fights.
Yeah, like I said, they're the only fights I'm really getting offered, which when I did box at Leicester, obviously I appreciate the people who bought tickets off me, which people don't realise when they think we're just having a laugh and say, oh, we need to sell tickets. I actually put about 650 quid out of my own money to basically pay my opponent and basically box for free. Which I've done it a couple of times now, which I'm not doing it for the money anyway, because I've got a decent job behind me. But now, obviously, just getting my confidence back, because after the Conor Kessler fight, I did lose a bit of confidence, because I think people didn't realise it. I had a bad performance anyway, but people don't realise, I think from the second round, I perforated my left ear, and I think the following round, I perforated my right as well. Which anyone who has a perforated ear can tell you lose your balance and that. So to come to do another 8 rounds after that, obviously I'm quite proud of myself. Obviously took a bit of a beating, but I believe obviously all my losses what I've had, I'm not seeing them as losses, seeing them as learning curves, thinking, right, okay, I got stopped against Casey Cleamy. First ever time out of 52 amateur fights, boxing at a higher level as well, and then obviously to finally get put, I've been putting my arse in sparring, don't get it wrong, by my brother when he's probably about 2 stone heavier than me. But then I believe, obviously, when I come to the Brandon Dodd fight after, when I got hit for, okay, I don't stay up, take a knee, take the 8 can, get up, and use my experience, and it paid off.
And when you speak about experiences you've been through, and like I say, having some quite difficult fights, what would you say has got you through that, and what has been that motivation to get you through the rougher patches?
I think it's having the same sort of mentality, a little bit like a German individual. Like my dad was a German, boxed everyone, same as my brother. Obviously, we've always been known not to turn down any fights. Obviously, I just want to fight the best out there. So when you get to tough fights, you'll never see me go down. Like the case of Demi fight, I kept getting up. I think I got dropped 3 times, kept getting up. And me coach in the end threw the towel, and she says I weren't going to stop getting up. So obviously to save me from getting hurt, which could probably be too brave for your own good, if you will. But it's one of those. Want to get in there. Like I say, with the Brandon Dord fight, we knew we had everything against us. Very good lad. Very avoided by a lot of people as well. And we got offered it, and it was like, why not? I want to fight the best lads out there. Obviously, it was at super flyweight, but we got it arranged at 8 stone 1, which I think when he first weighed in, what was like on the actual video when he weighs in, I think he was 8, 2 and 4 ounces. So it made the super flyweight limit, but it didn't make the weight that we agreed. So what people didn't see behind closed doors, I was still there at probably about another hour and a half after he weighed in to see him lose the weight. And to see how much weight, cause I think he lost probably about nearly half stone that day, because he's a big guy. And then to see him the following day, I think he looked about a stone heavier. I seen him getting checked by a doctor. I thought, bloody hell, he looks a lot bigger than yesterday. But it's the same with those. It's like if I got him with 10 Mike Tysons, I'd still give it my best go. I won't give up or get afraid, or I won't look into it too much what they've done or whatever. It's like coming to fights. I never look at on YouTube what fights they've been in. I just kind of have a little look. Yeah, okay, get sit there, blah blah blah. But obviously, styles make fights, so yeah.
When you speak about weight and stuff like that, obviously it's quite a hot topic in boxing in general, and there's a lot of problems that gets faced with it. And what problems have you faced, kind of weight-wise, in your career?
I've been quite lucky, so to speak, as like I say, I was on the Team England squad for about 4.5 years at 49 kg, which is 7 stone 10. And I think from in the amateurs, the weight category would be something like 46 to 49, and I was like about 42 kg, missing out on championships all the while. So I started upping my intake to actually put weight on, and then I still struggle to put weight on now, to be fair. Like I say, I think both fights have been scheduled at 8 stone 3. Like Brandon Dord fight, scheduled at 8-1. I had a fry up and everything in the morning, drank loads. I come in at 8 stone dead. Like I said, first time making 8 stone as a pro against Conor Butler, because I was boxing at bantamweight and stuff like that, then you're cutting down. I think I woke up a couple ounces over, thought, I'll travel there, I'll probably lose it. And I got there, and I think I was about 1 ounce over still before the actual weigh-in. So managed to go to the toilet, try and push out a little bit, which anyone will tell you, anyone who loses weight, they'll be like, oh, just have a poo or whatever, you'll lose that. But when you've not been for proper poo or wee, it's a lot harder sort of thing. But no, making 8 stone is not a problem now. Make 7 stone 10 if I get the opportunity. I still think I'll make it fairly comfortable, because a lot of boxers or like these UFC fighters, they'll lose a lot of weight the last sort of minute. It's like I'm about a stone overweight now, I'm about 8 stone 10, but I'm still eating what I want, just loads of rubbish and alcohol and that. But I know if I need to proper force the weight off, I can get about half stone off in about nearly 2 to 3 days. But obviously it's not healthy. But doing it gradually, I'll be on fight weight probably about 2-3 weeks before. It's like when the inspector comes to watch me do a check weighing for a title fight, they just like, a couple of times they just got to send us a video, because they know that I'm always going to be near enough on weight. So I don't personally struggle myself at the moment. While I'm obviously still making the weight, obviously I might as well keep on doing it. But I think, you see, I was speaking before this, like Casey Steamy, how he boxes at flyweight. He's a big guy, sort of thing. It's like, I'm not a big flyweight, but I'm probably about your normal sort of size. But when he obviously come face to me, he was so much heavier than me. So for him to get down to that weight, and then same as Tommy Frank. Obviously he's lost a couple of fights on the trot now, been stopped, etc. And you think, are they just pushing themselves that too much to lose the strength and come fatigue and everything. But like I say, I think until someone's been in that situation themselves, I think that's when they can kind of say, yeah, okay, I need to move up weight now.
And I did want to touch upon your amateur career, and I spoke to Louis about it as well. You fought a lot of very top level names. You kind of know the domestic scene at the moment, and I suppose, has it helped the fact that you've fought fighters and you know a lot of fighters around the divisions, and has that helped going into the pros?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I had 52 amateur fights, won 28, 29, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, which is a little bit more than a 50-50 record, but I think from like me 10th fight, I thought a lad what's upcoming pro now, no man who's saying. Which when you look at the size difference now, you think, how did them two box in the amateurs? And I think at the time he had like 20 fights, won 18 or something like that at the time. And I think I went in and beat him, and I was on the 10th fight. He had more wins than what I had fights. But we've always had the mentality, we'll travel over the country and fight the best lads out there. It's like before I boxed Sonny Edwards, I actually travelled to box him when he boxed Repton. On his home show, both his literally got in the ring, and some drunken idiot threw a pint at the fire alarm and set off. And bear in mind, it's probably about 11:30 at night, and it was just a false alarm as well, but they couldn't turn it off, so they had to cancel the show down. And we were literally top of the bill the last fight, and they were like, "Oh no, thank you for coming up. It didn't happen." But I've boxed all the best lads out there: Sonny Edwards, Kieran McDonald, the list goes on, sort of thing, which I think now, obviously, since turning pro, it's given me a lot of experience. Like, obviously, I've sparred Sonny a few times as a pro as well, and you kind of see yourself, okay, I'll come on a bit more here now. But like I said, when I first turned pro, you get like yourself, he's not a big ticket seller or something, not necessarily well known either. I always said I was going to get Carl Greaves being manager, because he's like a long thread of my dad. But I think after I signed with Carl, obviously I looked on my requested folder on Facebook Messenger, and I had about 3 or 4 other managers what wanted to talk, and I was kind of like, hey, I'm not used to that, but obviously they'll see, former England international, box all the top lads out there. It kind of speaks for itself, sort of thing.
Of course, and I appreciate your time. I know this session's going to start soon. I won't take up too much of your time, but like you mentioned, Carl Greaves as your manager and your dad as your coach. How nice is it to have such a good team around you?
Yeah, well, like I say, the main man in the coach is Chris Latcher, which I think that kind of got the son and father like separation, if you will. Which I always used to listen to my dad, but after a round, I'll come back and he's like, "Oh, you're not listening to me," even though I think, well, I have. I've done what you told me to, but like I say, that's just a father-son thing. You still do a lot of work with my dad, but it's nice to have someone kind of from an outer perspective with Chris Latcher. He'll probably say, "No, you're doing this right," or when Dad saying, "Yeah, that's brilliant." Like, I think against Stephen Jackson, I dropped my hands, made him miss loads. My dad was like, "Yeah, that was brilliant." And as soon as I come back to the corner, Chris Latcher like, "What are you bloody doing? Don't do that again." And you're like, "Right, okay." But no, like I said, I've got a lot of experience. Like Chris was a good boxer himself. Should have gone to the Olympics really. I think Carl Frochiev done an interview and says he always wanted to be as good as Chris Latcher because he was old teammates. So I think that sort of shows you the sort of calibre of teachers I've got, if you will, sort of thing. But no, I've got a good team around me. Obviously, I'm on my second contract with Carl now, because obviously I believe if it's not broken, why fix it? Obviously, he's getting me opportunity after opportunity. It's why they still come. Obviously, I want to keep on taking them.
Of course, and one final question. Ask Louis the same question. Who's the better boxer out of the two of you?
I'd say me. I think a lot of people would say me. Obviously, in the amateurs, I suppressed like what he done. And as a pros, I think I've had more title fights than him now. Like I say, he done brilliant. Like how early on he did win an English title, but I believe if he hadn't done what he done, it wouldn't have pushed me on to kind of suppress what he's done, sort of thing. But like I say, I've boxed for English title twice now, lost both times, which he keeps reminding me, I always won English title, so hopefully I can win something like that. Just say, yeah, I've got one up on you now. But no, I do believe me. I think he didn't have his first amateur fight till he was 13, 14. I think I was 11 when I first jumped in there. So doing it that little bit longer than him. But no, I think when we spar it, he'll probably tell you himself he don't like sparring me, sort of thing. But no, I'd say me.
Oh, brilliant, Ben. I appreciate, like I say, you let me do this today, and thank you very much, man.
Cheers, thank you.